Hey guys, Anthem here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys an item duplication bug that occurs in every existing version of Minecraft that has hoppers in them, but it is very likely to not exist in 1.8 because of, the information getting out there. But it does exist in 1.7.4, so that's pretty cool. Before I get too far into it though, I am going to give you guys a little bit of backstory on how this mod was, or how this bug was found, because I wasn't the one who originally found this, so I want to give credit where credit is due for this. So this was found by Giant Waffle. He is on Twitch, I believe, at twitch.tv/Giant Waffle. I'll include a link in the description if that's not entirely correct. And he observed while he was playing on a multiplayer server that he had a corrupted chunk. And he thought that this item system thingy that he had set up was causing items to duplicate themselves. So he thought it was originally because of the corrupted chunk and thought that you required a corrupted chunk for this to work. And I was watching Luckland stream one night after I was done streaming, and he was messing around with the bug. And because of what I know about Minecraft, I guessed that you didn't actually require a corrupted chunk. You just required a decent amount of lag to do it. So what I did is I created this little device right here. And the comparators are not actually necessary for this. They're just a good visual indicator to let you know when something is duplicated. Because what you do is you set up, hopper systems to sort of go into themselves like this. I have 20 of them here, and the more you have, the more likely it is that you're going to duplicate something, just because of the way that this glitch actually works. Because the way it works is that I believe, at least I think, this is a guess, that if an item is in the middle of transporting from one hopper to another while the chunk is unloaded, then it will duplicate, because it doesn't, it doesn't remove the item, but at the same time, it knows it's supposed to move, so it moves the item, thus copying it. So, yeah. And I think that this bug works better for people with worse computers, because if you have hard drives that are very slow and are prone to loading chunks very slow, I think that'll cause this to happen often. But because my computer is pretty decent, and I have solid-state hard drives that load data at 500 megabytes a second, I don't get to duplicate items that often. It does work for me, though. I've had plenty of them work. These two with diamonds behind them, these are the two that I observe to work most often for me. I don't really know what those two have anything to do with it. But, yeah. So, essentially what you do, I noticed that this only works for me in the Nether. I do believe it works in the overworld, but you can't create it within the spawn chunk because redstone is still updated even if you're not in that chunk. So yeah. Anyways, what you do is you just set up a whole bunch of these with hoppers, and you just have them pointing into each other. And then what you do, it's kind of important, is you just place one of whatever you want to duplicate within there. You can create items or unstackable items. It doesn't really matter. In this one, I've placed a beacon, and this one, I've placed a bow. So and another interesting thing is that no matter what enchantments you have on it, no matter what it's renamed to, no matter what the properties are, you can duplicate those items. So, and it'll duplicate exact with every attribute it had on it. So that's pretty awesome. And this was a device I had set up to try and simulate lag, but I noticed that at least for me, it didn't really make that big of a difference. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through the Nether portal and back. I'm going to do it 20 times, though I'm going to do it off camera because it's going to be really boring to watch it happen. Maybe I'll do the first one. So let's go ahead and let's do this. And it works on creative mode or non-creative mode. It doesn't really make a difference. So that was the first one. And as you can see, maybe I tried it in the overworld, but yeah. All right. So I'm going to do that 19 more times, and then we're going to come back and observe the results. So I'll see you then. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Alright, let's go ahead and let's head back through the Nether portal here. Again, I tried it in the overworld, but I couldn't really get it to work, which is why there's no more hoppers there, because I deleted them. And, yeah. Alright, so, now that we have made our way through the portal here, the easiest way to identify that any of these have actually duplicated is when you have stuck comparators like this. Again, this is why I added the comparators, because it's an easy indication as to if this is working or not. And it looks like both of these actually duplicated. That's really interesting. Like, for whatever reason, these two very commonly do it for me. So, yeah. You can see if you have stuck comparators on either side that the items have duplicated, because, as you guys saw before, there are are none of these that were stuck. They all had one item in them. I even showed you guys the one with the bows in them, and there were not 2 bows in here before, and there were also not 2 beacons in here before. The beacon was flashing back and forth between the hoppers themselves. So yeah, this one's got 2 blocks of diamonds, 2 blocks of diamonds. Obviously, it doesn't work every single time, but dang, it worked with more than them than I expected to, given, you know, how my computer tends to handle things. But yeah, I mean, that's how you duplicate items in Minecraft. Obviously, you don't require this many hoppers. If you wanted to, you could duplicate like blocks of iron in order to create more hoppers or things like that. You know, you can duplicate the hoppers themselves, like whatever you want to do. Though it would be technically more efficient to duplicate the blocks of iron and then like a chest or something. I don't know, but you guys can try whatever you want. You know, it is a duplication bug. It exists. It works. And here's another one that I had set up as well. It looks like these have been duplicating as well. Yeah, again, it doesn't work like every time, so yeah. I do have one more estimation that I want to give you guys, you know, a heads up on before I go ending off this video, since I'm pretty much done at this point, and that is that I have an estimation that this will work quite well if you build this on chunk boundaries. So if I let me go ahead and let me fly. Let's see here. I think the easiest note that I could possibly do is on... Oh, no, 0, 0 is the spawn point. But anyways, if you guys take a look at the X and Z axis that's on the top in the F3 menu there, and you go to the end and you see the F... or the C equals -1, and then in parentheses it says 0. And then for the Z it says C2... and then 11. What that number is it determines whether or not, it determines what chunk you're actually in. So if I go ahead and I go between right here, like if I go right here, this little spot right here, this is actually the corner of a chunk boundary. And then if I go right here, this is the corner of another chunk boundary. And then this right here is a corner of another chunk boundary. So I'm betting that if you created a hopper pattern in like a 4, you know, like a 4 pattern where they're all kind of going into each other, that you would usually get more duplication than you would otherwise, because all of these are going to load at slightly separate times, especially if you have a slow hard drive. Like you know, if you get like chunk errors a lot, then this bug is likely to work out pretty well for you. So, you know, that's just something to bear in mind. Feel free to do any experimentation that you guys would like to. You know, it's really easy to make, especially in vanilla survival. Again, huge props to Giant Waffle and Lucklin Workbench for, you know, helping me, you know, like, well, not really helping me, but I was just observing Lucklin that one night, and I tried it myself, and boom. So again, I want to give credit where credit is properly due. Be sure to check out those 2 guys in the description below. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend subscribing to Lucklin on YouTube and following Giant Waffle on Twitch, you know, because they're genuinely awesome people. So anyways, guys, yeah, hope you all have enjoyed. Have fun duplicating your items. My name is Ant Venom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.